All right, everybody, how's it going? We're gonna do a little walk and talk action. We're always going out here taking these beautiful doggies on a walk. And since they're not really good conversationalists, I typically have a lot of thoughts going through in my mind. And so I figured it's time to share a little bit more with you. So here we go. First things I wanna talk about, visions for this channel going forward, the future of 2024, what I have learned so far in 2024, maybe some other random thoughts by Chris Crowley, as opposed to deep thoughts by Jack Handy. And if you know what that reference is, you might be a little bit old yourself. So, vision for this channel. The vision of this channel has always been sharing my passion for natural bodybuilding in general, not just because of the aesthetics. Yes, I understand that bodybuilding basically boils down to looking good naked, but also the mental, physical, and spiritual benefits I've gotten from this sport and this lifestyle. All right, so let's talk about that for a second. Prior to embracing this lifestyle, I had a lot of health problems. I was overweight. I was probably at some points close to 300 pounds. Definitely know I was around 270, 280 at times. And I had high blood pressure, I had high cholesterol, my A1C was borderline type 2 diabetic, so wasn't doing so well. Now you would think I would want to be healthy just for healthy's sake. I had 2 children that I love dearly. I have 2 sons, now they're both adults. I have a daughter-in-law and I have a beautiful wife. You would think that wanting to be healthy for them would have been enough of a catalyst to be healthy. But for some reason it wasn't. And perhaps maybe I just didn't see just how heavy and unhealthy I was. Maybe I didn't want to admit it. I don't know. Okay? Because I thought I was healthy and I had all the workout advice to give everybody, all the diet advice to give everybody. But when my doctor was sitting there telling me, you know, Chris, I can keep popping you full of pills to take care of the symptoms, but at the end of the day, I'm just putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. I'm kind of paraphrasing and even being a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe I'm even expounding on it a little bit more than he actually said, but I'm kind of giving you the same thing he told me. It's like, look, you know, it's not the fact that you have high blood pressure. It's the fact that you're fat as to why you have high blood pressure. All right, so, you know, I want to share the things that I've done that have helped me get healthier. I want to share that with you. Now, of course, if you're going to undertake any sort of diet and exercise program, you want to get your clearance from your doctor first, all that good stuff. But I'm trying to explain to you that what I did is doable for just about any man or woman, okay? You know, maybe there's some physical limitations that you can't do some of the things, but you can, at the end of the day, be more active and eat less food, and the food you eat can be better quality food. Everyone can do that. All right. So that's the vision of this thing going forward. I'm doing a lot more of these walk and talks, documenting more of the workouts, explain more of the workouts, hopefully get a lot more people on the channel to also discuss, you know, other things that you can do for diet, and definitely, you know what, even talk a little bit more about my diet and show you some of the things I eat, how I go through a week of prepping my meals, all that other stuff. Okay, now let's talk about the future of 2024. Last year was the last full year of me in my 40s. I hit the big 5-0 in October of this year. All right. So what better way to celebrate being a half a century old than to go big and do some more bodybuilding competitions? And what better thing to do than to basically hit the pinnacle of natural bodybuilding shows and go to some PNBA, INBA shows. All right, so I've interviewed in the past and have become friends with Philip Ricardo, who is a 4-time natural Olympia with PNBA, INBA. He has a show this April 27th, which is just a day shy of 12 weeks away from the time of this recording, in the DC area. So it's time for me to pay it forward and support somebody who's been supportive of me to his show. with this caveat. I'm not doing his show if I can't get my ass in gear and be ready for it, okay? Anybody can pay a entry fee, and I've been guilty of just being the guy who paid an entry fee and gave a C- effort in my contest prep, and then got C-, if not D- results in my placings. I'm not going to embarrass myself anymore. I've also given an A+ effort, and I've gotten A+ results. So it's A+ efforts going forward for his show. Now, here's the plan. Do open, classic, and masters in both divisions as well. Maybe even novice, we'll see. I kind of don't feel like doing novice because even though technically I'd be a novice in INBA, PNBA, I'm not a novice bodybuilder. So just paying more money just to maybe get more trophies seems kind of like bullshit to me. Almost like cheating. So I don't necessarily think I'm going to do that. All right. And then here's the plan though. Enter those divisions, get my pro card, and then compete in the November 7th for the Natural Olympia with the PNBA, INBA. Please go. All right, whatever. You're in an intersection and I'm trying to tell the person to go so I can continue to walk, and they're just, I don't know, staring at their phone maybe, who knows. So anyway, thank you. Oh, she's too busy looking at something else. Whatever. So do the Natural Olympia in Vegas in November. That's the plan. Now, if I do not get my pro card in April, all right, then I will probably compete one more time in September to try to get my pro card before doing the Natural Olympia. If those two things fail, I am still competing in the Natural Olympia, even if it's as an amateur, all right? Simply put, you only get this one trip on this rock that we call Earth, all right? God gives you this life, and for some reason, he found it wise enough to allow me to live in the greatest country on earth, be blessed with a great job, and he gave me yet probably a thousand chances to improve my health, and this time it stuck. So I'm not gonna throw away all that blessing and not put it to some use, okay? He obviously could have put me in a country where I'd be bathing in the same river that someone just took a dump in 5 feet from me, you know, all that stuff. He didn't do that. So while I want to share my blessings with other people, I'm also going to enjoy some of those blessings on myself, okay? So that's the plan going forward for 2024. Now, what have I learned in 2024 so far? All right, so let's go ahead and start with January, obviously, because we're in February right now. My coach, Rob Goodwin, had this thing called the Berserker Challenge. You know, it had like a Viking undertone to it or whatever, right? Part of the challenge was physical challenges like sledgehammer swings, other things like burpees, which I hated him for that. Doing some running, doing some weighted walk, which I'm doing right now. Reading a book, blah, 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 blah. One of the biggest challenges and one of the more important challenges for me on this challenge was the dry January. No alcohol, no recreational drugs for the entire month of January. Now, recreational drugs isn't a problem for me because I don't use those. Alcohol, on the other hand, is a staple of my diet, or at least it was. So the whole month of January, I was going without alcohol, and I failed on January 30th and had 2 glasses of wine, and big glasses of wine, not your standard 4 to 6 ounce serving, probably more like a 10 ounce serving. So I probably had more like 4 or 5 glasses of wine if I'm being truthful. I felt great, loved it. Woke up the next day feeling like complete dog shit. All right, and I thought, okay, I learned a huge lesson that day. Alcohol does not need to be a mainstay in my life anymore. And what I learned, is perhaps, alcohol has its place, or perhaps it doesn't. Maybe being sober the rest of my life could be something I could do, or perhaps only drinking on super special occasions. Like, perhaps After the competition, I might have a drink and celebrate with my wife. I know I'm going to have a really nice dinner, okay, after the show. Maybe it can have its place there. Maybe Christmas or Thanksgiving, I can have a libation. But you see how those are like a couple of days out of a year as opposed to a couple of days out of a week? So that's something I've definitely learned going forward with 2024. And every day that the good Lord allows me to be on this planet, perhaps even more healthful choices are on the menu. All right? Lovely dogs are doing their thing where they're definitely tangling daddy up. So there we go. That's what I've learned so far. Also, what I've learned so far is when you take easier things to do and you add a little bit of an element of hardship on them, you're kind of killing two birds with one stone. I have to walk these dogs. They have to get out. They got to get their exercise. But walking them is definitely not a strenuous activity for me at all. Adding 50 pounds, it became a strenuous activity. This sucks, okay? But it's certainly helping me achieve my physical goals without having to add maybe 45 minutes to an hour on the treadmill when I'm out, when I'm at the gym. I'm definitely getting the caloric burn I need right now. And this, like I said, sucks, all right? So those physical challenges that I got from Rob Goodwin's Berserker Challenge were amazing. Learning that perhaps alcohol doesn't need to be part of my life, and if it does, it needs to be for a special reason, has been great. All right, that's pretty much it for this particular rant. I'm not just going to keep talking for the sake of talking. So thank you so much for watching this channel. Be sure to like and comment below. Subscribe to this channel. I've talked about it in the past, so I'm going to mention this again. alphalion.com. They have some amazing supplements. Be sure to use checkout code Desire for Iron, all one word. Spell out 4, F-O-R as opposed to the number 4. All right, and get yourself 10% off. All right, be sure to share this with other people. Let's get this community growing. I'm very thankful for you and I love you. Have a great day.